Today we need to talk about a decision that has set the football world abuzz. The Las Vegas team selecting running back Ashton Jeanty in the first round of the 2025 NFL Draft. This wasn't just any draft pick. This was a statement. A statement that Las Vegas is ready to reshape its identity, to turn the page onto building a fence around a player they clearly believe can become a cornerstone for years to come. For fans, this moment brings not just excitement, but also high expectations. Everyone's already eyeing that number 2 jersey with Jeanty's name on it, seeing it as more than just a piece of merchandise. It symbolizes the hope that this franchise has been desperately searching for. But why Jeanty? Why did Las Vegas, with so many holes to fill across the roster, decide to use such a high-value pick on a running back? The answer is simpler than some might think, because he was the best player on the board. This wasn't a reach. This wasn't a panic move. This was calculated. Las Vegas had done their homework. They had evaluated every angle, every metric, every intangible that Jeanty brings to the table. And when it came time to make the call, they didn't hesitate. Other teams were circling, showing serious interest, but Las Vegas acted decisively. They knew they had to move before someone else did. It's easy to throw around phrases like generational talent during draft season. Every year we hear the same cliches about prospects who are supposed to change franchises. But in Jeanty's case, there's real weight behind those words. He's not just another fast, strong back. He brings a rare blend of vision, patience, and explosiveness that makes him stand out. He doesn't just hit the hole, he creates opportunities where none seem to exist. For a team like Las Vegas, which has struggled to establish a consistent running game, this kind of talent is invaluable. Let's not forget the context. Last season, Las Vegas finished dead last in rushing yards per game, averaging a dismal 79.8 yards. That's not just bad, that's league worst bad. On top of that, the average of 3.6 yards per carry was also the lowest in the NFL. The running game wasn't just a weakness, it was a glaring liability that opposing defenses exploited week after week. Fixing that wasn't optional. It was a necessity. That's why adding someone like Ashton Jeanty wasn't a luxury pick. It was a strategic move aimed at addressing one of the most critical issues holding this team back. And it's not just about the numbers. Jeanty's presence changes the dynamic of the entire offense. His ability to consistently gain positive yardage, to keep the chains moving, to provide balance, these are all factors that take pressure off the quarterback, stabilize the offense, and ultimately lead to more scoring opportunities. Speaking of the quarterback, Geno Smith is set to be the starter, and the front office has been working tirelessly throughout the offseason to put him in the best position to succeed. Bringing in Jeanty is a big part of that plan. A reliable, dynamic running back can be a quarterback's best friend, especially when it comes to managing down and distance situations and controlling the tempo of the game. With Jeanty in the backfield, defenses won't be able to key in on the passing game the way they did last season. That alone could lead to a significant uptick in offensive efficiency. But Jeanty's impact won't be limited to the offense's rhythm. His skill set also alleviates pressure on the offensive line. He's a runner who can make defenders miss in the backfield, turn potential losses into positive gains, and extend drives. That makes life easier for the big men up front, allowing them to play with more confidence and aggression. Plus, with Brennan Carroll overseeing the ground game as the run game coordinator, there's a clear vision for how Jeanty will be utilized. Carroll's experience and philosophy align perfectly with the physical downhill running style that suits Jeanty's strengths. Now, when you look at how thoroughly the Raiders scouted Jeanty, it becomes even clearer why they were so sold on him. They didn't just rely on tape, they went deep. They had a top 30 visit, conducted a formal interview at the Combine, and attended Boise State's Pro Day with key decision makers present. They even took the extra step of having dinner with Jeanty and his college coach after the Pro Day. This wasn't a case of a team falling in love with a highlight reel. This was a deliberate, exhaustive evaluation process. And it tells you everything you need to know about how serious they were. Of course, anytime a running back is selected this high, questions arise. Would it have been smarter to prioritize an offensive lineman? Was there a better way to maximize the value of the pick? Those are fair questions, but let's not overlook the meticulous approach this front office has taken. They understand the risks, they know the positional value, debates. Yet despite all that, they believe that Ashton Jeanty was the right choice. That speaks volumes about their conviction. There's also a larger strategic element at play here. The NFL is a copycat league. When a formula proves successful, other teams take notice. The physical ground and pound style that has brought success to teams like the Philadelphia Eagles and Detroit Lions is something the Raiders clearly want to emulate. Building a team that can win in the trenches, control the clock, and impose its will late in the season. That's the blueprint. And Ashton Jeanty fits that mold perfectly. For years, the conversation around building a competitive team has centered on finding an elite quarterback. But let's be honest, there are only so many Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allens out there. For teams that don't have that luxury, the alternative is to build a complete balanced roster that can compete by playing tough physical football. That's exactly the path Las Vegas is taking. They're not chasing unicorns, they're building a team that can dictate the terms of engagement on Sundays. It's also worth noting how this strategy impacts game management. If you can run the ball effectively, you control the tempo. You keep opposing offenses off the field. You reduce the margin for error. This becomes even more crucial in the postseason when the weather turns cold, the games slow down, and physicality often trumps finesse. By investing in a player like Jeanty, Las Vegas is positioning itself to be that kind of team. Looking back at some recent draft successes, we can draw parallels. When Saquon Barkley entered the league, he immediately became the focal point of his team's offense. The same happened with Ezekiel Elliott when he joined Dallas. These players were workhorses from day one, handling heavy workloads because their teams recognize their unique abilities. The Raiders are setting up Jeanty for a similar role. He's going to get his touches. He's going to be a volume runner. And if history is any indication, that kind of usage can lead to immediate impact. I know some will argue that giving a rookie such a significant role carries risks. But let's be real. You don't draft a player in Jeanty's position unless you plan to use him extensively. This isn't a project pick. This is a player who is expected to contribute right away. The front office has built around this pick. They've addressed other areas of need through free agency and later draft rounds, ensuring that Jeanty's addition is part of a broader, cohesive plan. One of the more underrated aspects of this pick is the message it sends to the locker room. Bringing in a player who embodies toughness, work ethic, and a team-first mentality helps set the tone for the entire roster. It signals that the organization is serious about changing its culture, about building a team that competes with grit and determination. Players feed off that energy. When a rookie comes in and immediately demonstrates those qualities, it raises the standard for everyone. Moreover, Jeanty's selection reflects a shift in the way Las Vegas is approaching team building. They're not just chasing flashy names or short-term fixes, they're laying down a foundation. They're identifying players who can be pillars not just for a season or two, but for the long haul. This is about creating a sustainable model of success, one built on consistency, discipline, and physicality. As we approach the new season, the excitement around Jeanty is palpable. Fans are eager to see how his game translates to the professional level. They're curious about how the coaching staff will deploy him, how he'll adapt to the speed and complexity of that NFL. But if his college career is any indication, there's plenty of reason for optimism. Jeanty has shown time and again that he thrives under pressure, that he rises to the occasion, and that he brings a level of intensity that's contagious. In closing, while there are no guarantees in the NFL, the selection of Ashton Jeanty feels like more than just a draft pick. It feels like a turning point, a commitment to a new identity, a belief that winning football starts with toughness, with controlling the line of scrimmage, with making life difficult for opponents every single week. That's the vision Las Vegas is betting on. And with Jeanty leading the charge, that vision is starting to take shape. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy, drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a candid and emotional revelation that has sent ripples through the NFL world, star wide receiver Davante Adams has admitted his deep regret over leaving the Green Bay Packers for the Las Vegas Raiders. Speaking with unusual honesty, Adams confessed, I regret it every day. A statement that underscores the personal and professional turmoil he's faced since making the move. Adams, once the cornerstone of the Packers' high-powered offense alongside quarterback Aaron Rodgers, left Green Bay in 2022 in search of a new chapter, hoping to build something meaningful with the Raiders. The decision was met with both anticipation and skepticism, but few expected the transition to unravel as it has. The Raiders have struggled to find consistency, going through coaching changes, quarterback instability, and a lack of postseason success. Meanwhile, Adams' own performance, while still commendable, hasn't reached the electrifying heights seen during his peak years in Wisconsin. His admission this week is a stark departure from the confident tone he struck when first arriving in Las Vegas. "I thought it was the right move at the time," Adams explained. "But looking back, I missed the connection I had in Green Bay, the chemistry, the leadership, the chance to contend every year." Sources close to Adams suggest the frustrations began mounting early with a disjointed offense and a lack of clear direction from the front office. While he has remained a consummate professional, his growing discontent was evident through occasional sideline outbursts and subtle social media hints. Fans in Green Bay have reacted with mixed emotions, some feeling vindicated, others expressing sympathy for their former star. Packers quarterback Jordan Love, who took over after Rodgers' departure, has shown promise, but many can't help but wonder how different things might look if Adams had stayed. As for the future, Adams remains under contract with the Raiders, but speculation is already swirling about a possible trade. One thing is clear, Davante Adams' decision to leave Green Bay is one he won't soon forget, and neither will the fans who watched him dominate in green and gold. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.